Here are the 10 abilities with the longest cooldown in the game, ultimate abilities excluded. Before I start, I didn't consider recharge time like Ash's E as cooldown, I only considered actual cooldowns. Obviously, I will be talking about rank 1 cooldowns, where you only put one skill point in the ability, as the cooldowns always get shorter as you max it. Now let's start. There's actually a 5-way tie between the 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th and 7th place of this list. All of these abilities have a cooldown of exactly 26 seconds. Firstly, at the 11th place, Senezi gives camouflage and move speed to both her and her teammates for up to 8 seconds, effectively making all of them untargetable by targeted abilities. Games would become too passive if she could spam it, as it's just such a great defensive ability. At the 10th place, Nyla's W allows her to block auto attacks, just like Jax's E. However, the duration is a little bit longer, 2.25 seconds compared to 2 seconds. Secondly, the buff can also be given to her allies for 1.5 if she touches them, which has insane value, and as a bonus she also gains move speed for the duration. At the 9th place, we have Morgana's Black Shield. For those who don't know, it grants her targeted ally immunity to any CC, and a large shield against magic damage. Just like every ability we've talked until now, it has to have a very long cooldown in order to give the enemy windows to engage on her and her teammates. If the cooldown was shorter than 26 seconds, champions like Blitzcrank wouldn't be able to play the game at all, skull emoji. At the 8th place, Graves' W is one of the most annoying abilities in the game to deal with. It slows, but more importantly, it nearsights the enemy, most of the times making them unable to see and hit anything at all. Nearsight is in my opinion the most underrated form of CC in the game, which explains why it has such a long cooldown. At the 7th place, we have the last ability with a 26 seconds cooldown, Ezreal's E, his Blink. On a side note, if you guys want a video where I explain the difference between a blink and a dash, just tell me in the comments, I read every single one of your ideas. Even though it says 26 seconds, the cooldown is never that long, as Ezreal always spams his Q, reducing the cooldown of all of his abilities by 1.5 seconds every time. In the early game, it's usually closer to 15 seconds. Now, let's start with the 6 abilities that have a cooldown that's longer than 26 seconds. At the 6th place, with a 28 seconds cooldown, we have Vladimir's W. His famous pool is his only defensive ability, allowing him to deal damage without being hit in return, which is insanely valuable on a champion who gets focused often, as he is one of the strongest late-game hyper carries in the game. Tied with Vladimir at the 5th place, we have Renata's W with a 28 seconds cooldown. This ability, on top of granting both move speed and attack speed, can allow you to continue fighting for up to 2.5 seconds after dying, and even resurrects you if you get a kill during the duration. The sheer strength of this ability deserves 28 seconds of cooldown. At the 4th place, we have Milio's W. Range is one of the strongest stats in the game. Granting range to any of your teammates enables one-sided trades. For Milio not to be too unfair, Riot gave his W a 29 seconds cooldown at rank 1. At the 3rd place, we have Samira's W with a 30 seconds cooldown. A wind wall that deals damage and follows her location as she's dashing would obviously have a very long cooldown. Now the numbers are going absolutely crazy with the 2nd place, Quinn's W with a 50-second cooldown. This ability gives vision in a large area, and the long cooldown can be explained by the fact the ability also has a very strong passive that gives move speed and attack speed when Quinn procs her passive. Now at the 1st place, way above everyone else, we have Warwick with a 100 seconds cooldown on his W. Just like Quinn, his W has a strong passive, coincidentally it also gives attack speed and move speed. The extremely long cooldown can be explained by the fact it's reduced twice as fast when nobody is below the 50% threshold. Thanks for watching, I'm trying out making longer content with this video. Please tell me if you think the length and the rhythm are good, and if not, what I should change.